So group list, I think this is our group here. And I'm so excited because this is such an amazing group of soul sisters and brothers. With my husband here. And yeah, you guys know how I feel. It's very intimate. And I'm just grateful that you're here. Truly grateful that you're all here. So, yes. Do you want to do, we can talk about the clipboard with questions everyone can write down as we're going through? I don't know that we need it this time, actually. No, because we're going to be talking together. Yeah. So, yeah. The love donation basket is by the door as well, if you are so inclined. So what we're going to do, as we always do, is ground and clear, calling in angels and guides. I love how you guys automatically put your feet flat before the pause up. You're like, here we go. I am going to mention, and she may be crying through I don't want to put too much focus on my mom, but she lost her sister on Tuesday. And so Funny is actually here with us. Of course she's here, and she's sitting with all of us. I think she would have been an amazing part of this group as well. When I went down to visit her that same day that I had my first meeting with all of you in Florida, you remember? Exactly a month before she passed. She was talking to me about all the books that she has. I took her Journey of Souls book, and she had The Artist's Way and all this spiritual stuff, and that she was starting to see colors and lights, that they were coming through. And I said, those are the angels. They're getting ready. They're getting ready to take you with them. And it was just such a special experience. I mean, to say the least. I'd say I was lucky, but there's always this kind of knowing. So we'll talk to her a little bit while we do that prayer to open up the space. So go ahead and get comfy as you can. We're all so cozy. This is great.
No, I'm good because I've got a man at the
she's the videographer.
The videographer thing. Yeah. Whatever that word is, that's what I've got to do. Yeah, report tech.
All right, so let's take a minute and close our eyes. And again, I would do index finger and thumb together. It helps with the flow of the energy through the body. And I want you to very gently focus on your breathing, breathing in through the nose, breathing into the mind space. And as you're breathing, feel a soft, slow movement of the breath, your shoulders dropping with every out-breath, with every in-breath, breathing in light, breathing in the beautiful energy in space. And I want you to take your breath one step further, breathing into the mind space, but now doing a sort of U-turn, going all the way down the spine to the root chakra, opening up the diaphragm, really reaching every one of your embodied chakras, which is energy field, and breathing all the way up to the back out. And follow that sort of candy cane shape as you breathe. I'm going to go ahead and we can all do this to open up the sacred space. In this space, four corners of this room, the front door, and then all the way to the windows on the outside. With one giant pillar right in the center of this room, extend them up through the ceiling, through the roof, up out to the sky, out of the Earth's atmosphere, shooting out of our solar system, out of the Milky Way, all the way to the ends of the universe, the hands of God. And see, feel, sense this godlike presence. Male, female, no gender, just light, and a big smile if you could humanize it. And these hands full of light reflecting back down through the pillars, through time and space, through eternity, back into this space, into this room, through the roof, through the ceiling, filling this room with light. Go ahead and feel and call in the guides, your guides. We each have many guides throughout our lives. Just acknowledge the angels, the ascended masters coming through, pull them in through your crown. Feel that energy in your body. It's a gentleness, the calmness, the peace that moves and flows through each one of us. And now extend those pillars down through the floor, through the foundation, down through various layers of rock and soil, all the way to the core of the earth, connecting with Mother Earth energy. She's so beautiful. Look at what she produces on the surface of the earth, trees, the mountains, flowers, all the animals that feed from her. Feel her pulse at the center, the core of the earth, slow and steady. Glowing green coming up into and out of her arms and her hands, holding our pillars, extending that love, that green light all the way up from the core of the earth, through the various layers, through the floor, into the space, connecting God's smile to the earth heart. And we, the bringers of that love and light, can now share it everywhere we go. And because today is about seeing, I want you to focus your eyes, with your eyes closed, in between your eyebrows. Don't concentrate too hard, but just gently begin to focus in that space. And I want you to take your hands, hold them up to what we call your third eye, in between your eyebrows, and just hold them about an inch in front of that space. And you begin to feel heat. And I want you to repeat, I want to see, in your head. I want to see. I want to see. Trust that the sight, the vision will come. Imagine that this heat coming from your hands is extending through your third eye, all the way to your pineal gland, all the way to the back of your head, opening up that vision from the inside. Beginning with seeing the light that surrounds all beings, all things. The light of creation, the light that surrounds each of us. Go ahead, put your hands down. Just notice if you do see any color. If it's orange, it is not the back of your eyelids. It's actually your sacral chakra. Go ahead and take a moment to express your gratitude for everything that you are, everything that you have in this life to bring joy. And now, as an extension from your heart space to every person in this room, feel it jumping, your heart energy, your love, You don't have to remember every face. Just fill the room with heart, love for each other. The same intention to grow, to heal, to bring light. And tell every person in this room how much you love them. Feel that. All of that energy, feel it in the chest. So beautiful, and for you to share. We're energizing each other as we walk through our daily lives, full of all sorts of surprises, what you call them. This love we can give back. We can begin to have compassion, to understand on a deeper level what's going on with everyone who surrounds us, every situation. All right, so take a deep breath in. Clearing, breathe out. Wiggle fingers and toes, slowly come back to. All right, let's go to the nappy scene. So, in terms of the seeing and the vision, one of the things that you can do to help open up the third eye, raise your hand if you were able to see colors or sense them. Okay. You can rub your hands together to bring up the heat in what we call the 11th chakra in the hands and feet. Get them nice and hot and hold them up to your eye or your third eye. That really helps open up the pituitary. If you want to practice that now, you can. And one of the things you can do too is to start kind of remembering, like thinking of your favorite beach, thinking of like, and all the details of it. Like, what does it smell like? What does it feel like? What do you see? Or for me, it'd be the mountains. I'm a mountain girl, for sure. So that's a good way to open up the third eye. As you continue the lessons, you will gradually find that all of a sudden things just start coming. The vision starts expanding and growing, and you have more of a deeper understanding of what that looks like, right? And with your eyes closed. So we're going to go over the lessons and the questions. I posted them on Facebook last night. I'm not sure if you all checked, but that was Beth's suggestion last time, that maybe we have some time to actually think about them beforehand. But so we'll get started on the questions themselves. Before we do that, really quickly, does anyone have anything that they want to share, or will that just come with the question? I know Beth had a major expansion, we'll call it. Yeah.
Suffice it to say, I feel like I was a lifetime a week.
Yeah.
Of the healing.
Yeah, which is awesome. I mean, beyond, there are no words that can explain what that is. Yeah. And just for the record, I hope that she's okay with it, but Beth and I worked together for what, a year? A while.
Every Thursday for years.
Yeah. And Beth worked for hospice. So she's a bridge. She is here to help people transition from one plane, this plane, to the next. And she's beginning to see that now, I think is what's happening. They were like, knock, knock, knock. And she's like, all right, bye. And the floodgates open.
Yeah, and it's just had a lot of just ahas, and just said exactly what I just said out loud, because it's ding, ding, ding. It's like, oh my God, that's why this, that's why that. This is like, oh my, you know.
Yeah.
Like I said, I feel like my life is flashing before me, and all of a sudden, all these things. It makes sense.
Everything's a key. Everything in life has meaning.
And I can see how every single thing when we meet her.
Yeah.
Needless to say, I love you.
Needless to say.
I love this. Like, I can't help but tear too. What were you saying about crying in the car?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, more, like the therapist one time, that, you know, how when you don't know you're gonna cry, you sort of talking to somebody, you sort of crying. And so we sat there patiently while, you know, I was crying, because, and I was feeling that with my daughter, she got off to college, and I was in that grieving process of grieving. And so, he sat there very patiently, and he, you know, I sort of was crying, and said, do you know why I'm crying? And he was, I mean, three emotions, three feelings. Like, no, and he said, heart. And he said, the tears were pain, anger, or relief. And I said, I just saw my daughter walking across the graduation high school, and said, relief. And I said, what about when you told a newborn baby, you know, as a child comes into the world, and he has this, and I said, I'm happy, or I feel joyful, and he said, relief, that everything gets healthy, and so think about the next time you cry. I mean, he was telling me, think about the next time you cry, what the three feelings are that you're feeling. And so when I was telling that, and he said, oh my gosh, I feel relief.
Yeah.
So that's very hard. That's the only way I can remember it.
Okay. The other thing too is, Kathy, you have a Reiki class coming up, and I meant to share that with you originally. Did you want to share that with everyone?
Sure. So I'm a Reiki master. I teach all the levels, but level 1 and 2, I have a class coming up on March 7th and 8th. So Saturday for level 1, Sunday for level 2.
Yeah.
Anybody interested? I got into it because I was in a corporate job, stressed out, and I use it as a like self-healing, stress kind of tool. But a lot of people have, like, I heard some friends of the class, but I have all kinds of people that are in like service industry, or they're just doing it for their own benefit to kind of bring relief and peace. And I always combine it with my meditation, which is yeah, really helpful. So if anyone's interested, let me know, and I can do that stuff.
Can you do Reiki on yourself?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I teach you know, obviously for yourself, for others, and then I also incorporate for babies. Yeah.
I use Reiki on my puppies a lot.
Yeah, it's completely different than how you do it with people.
It is.
It's good to know, and that's not typically covered in like, classes, but because I have
You're like, it's funny, because my oldest Maggie, when she was little, she did not like Reiki. She didn't like, I don't know.
They're in charge, yeah.
She did not like it. Now, baby, she'll go right to sleep.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the whole point. You got to let them kind of run the show. But yeah, so it's a good thing. My dogs, I mean, they're doing good. They're really old, 11 and 13, and 14. So, yeah, I think it's a great thing.
So March 7th and 8th?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and if you have
I can
questions.
post it again, because it was going to be today, but I didn't have enough people sign up for today.
Yeah.
But I did get some people, so we just postponed it.
Yeah.
Because it's better with a small group, 5 or 6 people.
Yeah, and it's more intimate. You can actually get done what you need to, and everyone gets to know each other really well.
Yeah, and it's up in my home time, so 25-30 minutes from here.
Very cool.
Thank you.
So, anything else? Today's Chad's and my anniversary. And we're like across the room from each other. So we're sharing it today at the, to share with all of you. It's our anniversary in theory too. It's like our bi-weekly anniversary. And then we'll be speaking later. And then I made him have a make a surprise for me tonight, so I have no idea what's happening. So let's talk about some of these questions. And as we go through them, there are some tools that I'm going to be teaching you that I use in terms of my own perception, and you know, when I meet people, learning how not to judge them immediately based on how they look or what they're talking like, or you know, easier said than done, because we've almost been trained to do that when we meet people, right? So you know, those sorts of things. And there are other different tools like zipping that we're going to do, which is a great one for bringing in positive affirmations. And I know anyone that's worked with me before, that's one of the first things that we do is dipping in affirmations of how we love ourselves. So lesson 26. Mom, would you like to read? Well, no, you just read the question. You can use the book as a reference as well if you did bring yours.
Lesson 26, at a time when the level of expectation you have for yourself has been projected on one's own when.
Take a moment and think about that. That's one that you might actually even want to write about. And what I usually do is go through and consider the ones typically who are closest to me, because I know they love me. So I can say whatever I want and have whatever expectations, and they just need to follow. So take a minute and write about that. Maybe write the name of the person that comes up first, what your expectation of them is, and how it reflects back to you. And Allison, again, if you have any questions, you can chime in.
Just, did you use the word, did you say how, when you think of that person, how that person, or how that person reflects back to you, or reflects the word you say?
I call it the mirror theory.
Yeah.
Everything has to come from our mind first.
I do a whole lot more projecting on other people than I realized.
It's crazy. Yeah. Yeah, if you have questions.
I do. I had but it kind of blew me away. I couldn't get away with that.
I just thought I know, because I'm just talking.
And I thought about it so much. And the only thing I could come up with, but it wasn't very satisfying, was that I had the potential to behave in the same way. But I would never do that because that's what I don't do. But it's
Interesting. Well, what's a nice girl?
so anyway, and not necessarily the oldest. It was just, you know that horse shit. Yeah, the horse shit that so many of us grow up with, particularly in the South. I go through this, I go through that, if you do this, so how can you go through that? That will happen. Oh, bullshit. But
But where did you learn it though? And you had to be what?
cross up, yes.
You think he is?
It's not true. I don't know. It was just, I haven't been able to unpack that. But this is something.
It is. It is, because you begin to see, I mean, regardless, if this person is nasty, or they say something to you, we can't identify with that unless it's something that is within us to begin with. And I always have to think of like, yeah, well, it doesn't mean that you would do that.
Okay.
But no, I don't even know what happened, and that's okay. I can kind of see like a comment was made, it was like backhanded, and not, it just wasn't appropriate, right?
Well, it wasn't a comment. It was strictly completely inappropriate for the situation taken. And the whole room was, I didn't know what it was doing. So she was completely disruptive to all the energy. So I don't know that she ever looked at me. She was totally involved in her own behavior, what she was doing, and what she was getting. Yeah. And normally that kind of, you roll your eyes and that's it. My reaction is like, yeah, it's so negative.
Because of the expectations that were set for you to not behave like that. But take it one step further, and this is, can everybody hear this? When someone does something like this, the art of compassion, which Jesus taught, that's what he was. He was walking compassion, best teacher in the whole world, is to, instead of looking at the behavior, I mean, feel what you're feeling, because that's, you have to. You can't be like, oh, why am I feeling this? And then guilt sets in. But looking at that person and seeing, why is she behaving this way?
I couldn't even get there. After the fact, yes, I couldn't get there.
And at that moment, that's okay. So process it after. There's some situations where you're in them and you're like, I am not processing this right now. I'm pissed, right? I mean, you can't sit there and be like, oh, I'm an angel 24/7. It's impossible. We're human. We are so human. And we have to share that experience together. But what you can do when you get home, maybe now's not the right time, and sit with it, think about her. And you're going to think you're imagining what happened to her, but you'll get visuals of what happened in her life and why she behaved this way. Most likely she's looking for attention. And, why that, the question to you is, why was her looking for attention bother you? That's where you need to go. And journal. The answers will come. That's what's flowing through. The answers will come. Right? Anyone have any feedback there? Yeah.
Thank you for sharing, Nancy. A similar situation happened to me just last night. And what is going on? So the emotions that I had were embarrassment. I was embarrassed for her. And also to be in that situation, I was embarrassed because other people were witnessing someone that I cared very much about be upset. And nobody understood why. So there was embarrassment, and then that person that was upset was truly acting out in self-absorption. So he was very self-absorbed and angry and opinionated. And those are all things that I was at. So it was hard for me to witness that, knowing that I behave that way, different extremes, different extremes. So, so that's I think peace has been made and everything is calm, clear for communication. But it was one of those situations where I was like, what the heck happened here? And so anyway.
Allison, I'm sorry if I make you nauseous.
Oh, it's okay.
How's your back, by the way?
Say that again?
How's your back?
For now, it's okay. I have to start some physical therapy and stuff. Yeah.
Lower back?
Lower and actually my neck too.
Okay.
Yeah.
We can all send her healing. Get ready, girl. You're gonna have a bunch of light shining through your back and neck.
People like Nancy was talking about. My God, or my angels, or whoever's talking to me, my spirit, the Holy Spirit tends to make jokes, and the joke there is God loves that everybody. And that's just music. We can talk about it. But it brings up a sense of compassion. I like that. I happen to have been there, and it was really not well. And I get it.
Not me. Oh, the look she just gave you. You got it on camera. It's on video. Everything I learned from her.
Oh, good question. times when the level of expectation you have for yourself is projected on those around you. Yes, for instance, I expect myself to be consistent with people, especially my family and close friends, so I expect others to be that way.
And when they're not, what happens?
And then when they're not, I'm hurt, angry, and angry.
And annoyed.
And annoyed.
And, yeah, I go by annoyed to angry. Yeah.
Start throwing stuff. Yeah.
That's one. I happen to write this one out a lot. I thought it was fascinating.
Anyone else want to share?
For me, that showed up as control, which I never thought of as being control. But oh my gosh, that was huge. Like even my, I get so worked up, and Jessica knows about when people are like, driving, not paying attention, or in the grocery store, and talking on the phone, and they have no concept of anyone around them, and I'm like, I get so mad. It's like, do you not take into consideration anyone else but yourself? And it never occurred to me that it was me trying to control the situation, which I'm sure seems obvious to a lot of people, but that I've been, because I hear our conversation, because we have several over this, where I fought her over, how I was feeling. I was like, we're just going to have to agree to disagree. But now
You tried to fight me.
I did. I hear it in my head all the time, and I'm like, okay, now I'm saying why, and I see here where you were coming from, but I was not ready to receive it then, at all.
Allison, that was bad.
Yeah.
I try to fight all the time.
Yeah.
I lose quite frequently.
It's not about winning or losing.
No, we just agreed, we would disagree with the time, and I'm sure Jessica was like,
I'll show you.
It'll come around. She'll get it eventually, it only took a few years. But.
For me, for these kind of dogs, is how much I had myself. And I didn't even realize how much I was bullying myself, but I was bullying myself first thing in the morning. And I noticed it one day, and I was like, I beat myself in the corner of my eye. And then when I beat myself up, I'm more like,
We all do.
I'm the hardest on myself.
The Untethered Soul, has anyone read that book? That's a really good one. He talks a lot about, imagining that the thoughts that are the untethered soul, the thoughts that are coming into your head, if they were your best friend standing or sitting next to you, talking to you and saying the same thing, wouldn't you get rid of that person? You need to do this, you need to do that, and I'd be like, go away. Yeah. You just fell out. You're back. So anyone else, any comments? I have to look at my own notes. Like I said, for me, I have to be careful because it's about control. It's about the way that I'm talking to myself. It's all interrelated. It's about, me going back and really looking at what I needed to do in order to survive in this world from a young age, right? And be in a healthy family situation.
Sorry.
But even with that, so I had some resentment towards her, right? At some point, or just the family in general. But had I not learned what I needed to learn in my childhood, I would not be nearly as intuitive as I am now.
Right.
All those gifts came from my quote unquote pain. Now that I'm an adult, I can let that go. That little girl doesn't need to do all that extra work trying to fix things and control and make sure, I don't want this person getting angry, so I've got to make sure that this is in place and,
That's what happens with me, and that's on a very conscious level, so it comes out subconsciously, often through dreams and ways that I might lash out at the ones that I am closest to. So, I mean, it's just things to be aware of, and one of the most helpful tools that I use is to go back. I call in the Archangel Metatron, who works with children and childhood wounds. And just through visualization and meditation, I'll go back to the origin of whatever it is I want to learn. Say I want to know about my fear of lack, or why money is an issue in my world. I just don't want to be poor and on the streets. And I mean, where does that even come from, right? So I go back to the first time that I heard maybe an argument with my parents over money, and I would see them having a different conversation and scenario in my head. I would see them saying, we're abundant, the money will come. And all this peace that comes over me, and then I'm like, oh, because that's not even real. What are memories, but just a projection of what we think happened in the past? The past is not real, we've done that. So you can clear and change and shift whatever it is that you set your intention to do. And it comes with practice and some introspection. So any attack thought on yourself or from toward other people, right, is something it's an opportunity for growth and clearing and healing. It's so cool. It's like a red flag. Look, you get something else to work on. Woo! I think we both down. We did? Allison, are you there? She just texted you. Oh, hold on. I accidentally turned my computer off. Oh, I'm not sure what I'm up. Okay, for me. So any other comments on that? No? For a few years, I told my father would not be the type of dad that I thought she did. You know, I really had to do a lot of work and killing myself and creating this narrative in my spirit. I told that my father was the type of dad who takes me to the park. And my father did this, he did that, he was rude to me, all this. They really never did complain, but to heal myself, I had to tell myself that I had that type of love from my male parental figure, and that is so. That's all that from the tradition. I love that.
And he probably wanted to do this.
He did. She told me that. I was like, not that man.
He just didn't know how.
But I think now we're getting. I think now that we're getting him to be more compassionate, I think I'm beginning to see that. When you all come back around as you do, a little bit. Are you really? Not yet. You'll be running to the yeah. All right, so let's move on to the next question and lesson. And again, I always go back in my book and kind of look at the notes that I took. It really helps me to see, because it's hard. We're going back 2 weeks, right? So much content within these lessons themselves. Hard to know. Karen, do you want to go ahead and read the question for lessons 27 and 28?
What is seeing? When you meet a person, try to see them instead of judge, you jerk.
So let's start with what is seeing. Kind of talked about this already today. When do you really see a person? When you see them as the Holy Spirit. You just have human. Okay, being human. I've had that experience a couple of times. There's one gal I had to go meet on. But anyway, I had to meet her. She had lied, and she probably wasn't very well. And anyway,
I was studying A Course in Miracles and really prayed about being able to see her with the eyes of Christ, the spirit of her higher self. And when I saw her, it wasn't my ego seeing her. It was Christ or the Holy Spirit of the higher self. Some people believe it. It's so easy. I felt such loss about it. It's pretty amazing what can be inside of us. I'm so easy to forget that.
When you feel that, I would call it the Christ consciousness energy, where do you feel it in your body? You know what she's talking about? Think about like who you felt that with. It's how I feel about you guys. I mean, my husband's here, so it's okay. It literally comes right from here.
Yeah.
That's over there like
The heart.
it literally comes from the heart space, and it's like this swelling and overjoyed feeling of like for me it was going up Christmas morning or when there's just fresh snow on the ground, you know, like if we could be that way just walking through life, we'd probably be exhausted.
We'd have nothing to do. I mean, we'd all be so darn happy, but,
you know, there's nothing to worry about. Is that person okay? What's going on with them? Anyone else get that too? What is being?
I think for me, when I meet somebody and I'm not particularly drawn to them or I can pick up the sort of pain that I immediately start praying for. And I don't know what the prayer should be, but it's like, God bless you, God bless you. And I know, especially with the family situation, when they're acting out. And I really have to stop and stay conscious of thinking to myself that this is what I think. This is that I work on it. And I think that helps me not take it on. You know, and I do think that and I'm sure how Rachel said, I am at the moment around the situation. That we're really something like if I can't, I mean, I'm feeling their energy, you know, whether it's negativity or the pain, something that I'm trying to get out of it as quickly as I can. I don't want to take it on, but yet I'm obviously that person is talking about having a reason. And I don't know if we're trying to say a prayer for them. That's the only thing I can think of for them. You know what I mean? Because I don't know what their pain is. It helps me be able to, I don't know if I'm hoping I'm transferring some good energy to them. And it helps me not to take it on. And I know that I do take it on. It's not like, yeah. If that makes sense. I don't know.
Yeah.
If we can begin to see people from that place of life where they can't see it within themselves, all it does is open up their potential for growth, their potential to clear and heal. Well, absolutely. I pray for people all the time. You know, genuinely, not like I feel sorry for you. It's not a pity party. It's more like, I hope that you are able to heal. I hope that this comes gracefully for you. Other people have to hit the bottom before they finally find their way back up, right? But at least we can see them in a different light where most of the people in their lives probably didn't, which is why they have, I guess, not wound up, but why they are where they are.
The expectation of all power, and especially things I'm probably specifically hard for me to family. It's a lot easier for me to pray to God, that if I'm in a family situation where they're acting out, you know, my expectation is I don't want you to act out, but I also have to know that that's a foundation.
right, and they feel safe with you.
Yeah, that's a good way to look at it.
I've seen it a lot in, at work, where we've got people who come, I'm in an office, I'm not a nurse, but I'm in the office, and my office, we get grief counseling patients come in, and I have seen people go from, I mean, you just see their spirit so sad, and just drag themselves in, and to, where I've noticed days ago I'm thinking of where, you know, they've been coming for a while, and I noticed that they walk in the door and their whole being feels so much lighter. And I've said something to them, and they look at me, really? Really? And I'm like, yes. And they're like, you're not just saying it? I said, absolutely not. I said, I can feel it. Do you feel it? And they're like, well, I think they're afraid. Like they aren't really sure that, you know, do I deserve to feel lighter? And it just makes me so happy when, and I think it's because they feel like somebody sees me. And I'm not just because whoever I've just lost, and a lot of them are spouses who have been together a long time, and I think they're, you know, having to refine their way in the world and just to be seen by somebody, you know. That's neat. I love watching their, and then when they kind of, you know, when they graduate, they kind of come out to me at the end, and you can see they're kind of hesitant, like, you know, I so enjoyed coming, but, you know, and they get, some of them get weepy, and, but it's just so nice to see them grow. And some of them come back, you know, eventually we'll tune up, but.
Tune up.
Yeah, but it's really, it's so wonderful to see the change in them. And a lot of times they talk to me before they ever even go into the counseling session, which I love. Sometimes they'll say, oh, I thought we would, they're like, oh, I thought you were a grief counselor. I'm like, well, thank you. It's really nice.
But you are.
Well, yeah, but not in an official capacity. I just play. I'm an armchair grief counselor.
So what the thing that spoke to me was that vision has no cost and anyone, it can only bless. Like what I wrote down that day when I did this, like that automatically brought me back to a reading that we had. And you talked about, you asked me about two animals here, what was I thinking stuff. And and I just said, I'm sorry, you said one animal, and I was like, wow, it popped in my head at the same time. And then I told you one of them would be people. And then you started doing the cards, and you were like, I've never seen so many eagles in my family. And it was eagles and bears, and like the whole deck. I think I come out the whole 50 people here in the deck, which was weird. But the one thing you said was like you said about being above and flying and seeing the whole picture, and I think that's the blessing that people have, that if they allow themselves, they can do that. I always think about my uncle who he passed away many years ago. I was a teenager, but he was always an uncle that was in and out of jail. He was a drug addict, and it was drugs that got him in and out of jail. But every time he came in, I was like, "Oh, so Tommy," and you know, gave him a hug and everything, because I saw what a good person he was. But I don't think that sometimes we see ourselves as good people, or we, you know. So I don't know. Just that whole thing to me, it was just, we don't use our vision. We don't use our. That's why a lot of people, their third eye is closed. And that's, to me, that's what that whole thing kind of brought back. I mean, I don't remember anything out of the text. I'm looking down. I keep looking and trying to think of something, but and it was so weird because it was on the 27th, and then it's like the whole numerology thing, which equals 9, and then it's the vision, and then it's the eagle, and I was like, oh, there's so much stuff that was going through my head. But for me, like I said, that stuck out to me. Vision has no cost to anyone. It can only bless. And I think that if we allow ourselves to open our eyes, not just our third eye, but our whole soul and our being, we can see.
Yeah.
Because the vision is there. There's nothing impaired with our vision, but it's our mind. Yeah. We're allowing our minds to be cloudy. I hope I said that like that. So yeah. My brain is just going, and my mouth can't catch up. So that's all.
I got disease all week.
It's going and going. And so, like, you know, my little doodling, I put like moving upward, because when you have vision and you can see certain things and you're accepting them, that's the other thing too, is to accept always nice. There's things that we have to grow, that we can only move upward from those. And then, the 28th, because I think you also had.
Yeah.
Yeah, which was weird, because you put 27 and 28, and I combined them on the days that I wrote them, but not knowing that you were gonna do that in my journal.
Weird, that's synchronicity.
Oh, yeah, that's true. So, but I drew the eyes, which I saw today, but today, like, when you were talking about, like, your third eye, for some reason I saw the eye of Horus.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Yeah.
The eye of
Horus.
Horus. Okay. Yeah. So, but yeah, that's it, and then I journaled that day about Star Trek. That's a whole nother thing. It really is just, it's moving upwards to see everything, and I think Star Trek has more lessons in it than anyone can ever imagine.
I have not watched it in years. So maybe I should.
Never watched it.
Yeah, I like the original. I like the original.
Yeah.
Because they, you know.
What's the theme? The going to Star Trek.
Where no man has gone before.
Yeah, you talk about vision, right?
The fight over
Right.
here. They got them turkeys in the house. Yeah.
That's fun. Watch one.
Yeah, oh, yeah, yeah.
So wise.
Leonard Nimoy, and he really was like that in real life.
Was he?
Yeah, he was like that in real life.
He would have to be.
He had his presence about him that you could be at a convention and he would be there and you would feel like the only person in the room because he would just like kind of talk to you and then it was really strange, but he's looking at the whole thing. So when he died, I felt so sad. I was like, oh man, I thought he was my dad, you know. Yeah, it was cool.
Chad, did you want to make the noise?
You did.
I didn't hear it.
I heard it.
I'm numb to it. He is. He's like, why did I come here?
It's just time to go.
You're blushing.
Well, and the other thing on vision and seeing too is and I think we talked about this last time, just remember that though everything's kind of huddled into one, it's like in this moment in time and space, things can be tricky. They can look messy. They can be quasi-chaotic. But the real vision comes from like the eye of the eagle, that there's a bigger picture to everything and that God is in charge of all of that. And so who are we to think that he, she, it doesn't already have it all planned and that we're going to have some control over that? That's just right.
And I know why I put that down as the Star Trek reference, because on lesson 28 it says, above all else, I want to see things differently.
Yeah.
And the creators of Star Trek saw things so differently.
Yeah.
That was the first interracial kiss that was ever on, and it was such a big deal during that time.
Oh, I
Star
got
Trek,
that too.
yeah, Star Trek and Lieutenant Uhura had their first interracial kiss.
Wow, you really know Star Trek.
My mom is a Trekkie man. We had a TV that had 6 channels, and Star Trek was one of them. Yeah, so that was it. And the other thing too is when they had the episode where the half black and half white, and they were being racist or or mean to the person that had the black on the other side and the white on the other side.
Huh.
So like in one of the episodes, there was a the people of this planet were all split, and the left side was black and the right side was white. Well, there were a few people on this planet that were born where their colors were reversed. And so they saw things, that's why I wrote this down, it's coming to me now. I'm reading my notes and then you're saying things that stuck in my mind. And so then the colors were reversed. So those colors being reversed, they saw people for who they were, whether they were nice people or mean people, kind, selfish, rich, poor. And the rich, and it was like 2 things, the rich in that episode were actually poor because they were spiritually poor. It was a phenomenal episode. I got all that, and now it's that.
Wow. Maybe we should watch that together.
Yeah, it was a good episode. Yeah.
That's really cool.
But that's why I had to Star Trek reference.
We all were like, wow.
episode, they were actually the ones that were blessed. Because even though they were reversed and saw different in society, they actually saw society for what it really was.
I was thinking the same.
We're reversed. And even in the tarot, there's a hangman that sees world of will upside down. Yeah, why not? Well, and it just goes to show too, that's just the physical attributes of who we are, but they really don't encompass who we are.
Right.
All of that stuff. I mean, it's a bunch of nonsense labels. So, yeah, thanks for sharing. Now I want to watch that. I'm like totally motivated to see that episode. That and Avatar was another one where every time they walked up and they say, like, I see you. That's how they greeted each other. Like, how cool is that? One of my favorite, like, if I watched it, I just, next time I see you guys, I'm going to be like, I'm gonna be like,
That's the whole thing, and it, like I was saying, it just goes back to, people just want
we want to be seen.
basic things. They want to be seen, they want to be loved, and they want to be understood.
Yeah. And when they're not, they react in very strange ways. And they look and seek attention.
So, on that note, of course, I had a moment last time I today, at work with somebody I didn't expect to connect with. But she ended up talking about certain things that she went through as a child and different things with her mother and what it's called then and now and mental and physical health and all different stuff. And it was just so completely unexpected that she had this moment of vulnerability. And the next day when I came in the morning, I went into her office and I was like, it's so weird, the synchronicity stuff, but I just like, I appreciate you sharing it, I see you. And it felt weird to say that then, but talking about it now, like, that was what I needed to say.
Yep. I love that. But you do, you see beyond, and you see who the person is, just the light. It looks like light. You know, and when I do my readings, I will always look at the person with my eyes closed. Even the voices, the vibration of sound from the voice is a reflection of who they are at their core. And it's beautiful. But I can't walk around with my eyes closed. I think the next life I'm going to be blind.
You do though sometimes when you're talking.
I close my eyes.
Yes, like when we had lunch that day,
Yeah.
I was watching it and I was talking and I could see you. I was like, okay, I don't know what she's hearing.
Who's she talking to?
Right. No, but you could just see the wheels turning. I'm like, I wonder who's talking to her. But yeah, and you do. And sometimes in the midst of it, and it doesn't bother me. I noticed that you would close your eyes and because I'm sure I suspect, I don't know, for me, I know sometimes like particularly like Indian accent, I have a hard time hearing. It might sound weird to people, but I have to close my eyes and I can understand it better if I close my eyes.
Yeah, because you're focusing on just the sound itself. Sensory deprivation of sorts, right?
What is that particular accent that unless I close my eyes, I struggle to hear what I'm supposed to hear.
No, that's okay. It's just fun. That was funny.
Yeah, funny.
She came in and tapped on the picture. Oh, Allison, she's back.
Yep, she's back.
Oh, thank you. You let her in? She let you in.
Does Allison actually look like that?
No. No.
She's got a very round face.
Don't talk about me like that. Yeah. The last thing, when I look at each of you with my eyes closed, I see a certain color that is the frequency and vibration of the purpose of your being here. Does that make sense?
So based on your gifts or where you are in terms of your spiritual growth and the ascension process and where you are, different colors will come through. It doesn't mean that we say one specific color. It just means that our frequencies do change throughout our lifetime so we become more aware of what's surrounding us. And I trained myself to do that, right? I used to see, and I'm telling you this so that you can start doing it yourself if you haven't started doing so already. We talked about colors last time. But I can't remember if I mentioned this. I always saw myself like I was lying on the beach and just see orange all the time. I was like, it's the back of my eyelid. And then I started seeing purples as I got older, and like greens and different colors just come through. I'm like, I'm getting sick. Like, what's going on with the back of my eyelids? Why is this happening? But I realized it's because I'm an empath. I felt so much as a child. I still do. I'm very sensitive. Very sensitive. I'm a crier too. I mean, everything triggers me. I'll be like, that's beautiful. Yeah. That music. I can't even go to the symphony without having tissues every time. I got an oboe, you're gonna start crying. But yeah, that color, when you start seeing colors or start feeling in your body where those gifts are, and you feel like an intensity in one area in your body, that means you're expanding in that area. So become aware of those sensations, those feelings, colors, if you do start seeing them, and write it down because it's incremental. Once it comes, it doesn't go away. So, yes, you're all a color. Right now, you're all skin colored because my eyes are open. But yeah.
Thing that like a teacher, and I have like that one student that she does her class.
Yeah.
And it's like, when I was afraid, I would look at them, and I'm like, I really like to see. And I'm like, really seeing them beyond behavior or whatever. But I'm afraid of the feeling.
Yeah.
And the passion, like, oh my God, I'm so crying in front of their afraid.
Yeah.
When I really connect with them, it's like, what are you to help you? What you've got to let me work with you. And they're like, work with me, do something. And then I'm so afraid that I'm gonna like cry on them, because it is that intense, you know, it's like, I really get what's going on. And so then I'm like, oh, I gotta like back off, and that's not, this is very, you know, like trying to manage that.
And pushing and pulling those feelings, that's a good teacher, because you see that student. You probably go into a class too, and you can feel the energy, and you teach based on the energy of the classroom itself. Yeah. It just naturally comes to you. That's a teacher. Yeah, if you started hugging them and crying in tissues, and, yeah, they'd probably be like,
Trying to manage that, though, is very.
breathe through it. Yeah. And what is there to manage?
My feelings and my passion.
And that's
Because
okay.
They are not, like, oh.
But even if they do see that, whether they say it or not, they will appreciate it to some degree. I mean, it's not like you collapse on the floor
Oh, no.
and to be like, but yeah, when I taught too for my groups of ESL students, oh my gosh, those are my babies. And they knew it too. I just adored them. And I told them on a regular basis. Maybe it's different because you actually speak with English speaking people, and these are people from all over the world, and Latin Americans, I mean, come on. But yeah, they feel that love. Just like animals, just like kids, they know. That's how they feel it so strongly, and it's authentic. So yeah, just be authentic. I really care about you. This is what I see you doing. This is what I want to see happen with you. This is how special you are. So if they're not getting it at home, you can give it to them. So important.
What grade do you teach?
No, yeah, go ahead.
What grade do you teach?
Can you imagine how that goes over with the boys? Like, I mean, they get it.
He would, or she.
Right, like, they'll get it, like, they'll know that I'm really connecting with them. I just worry about me being able to not let be so intense that they can. Yeah. Do you think it's maybe because you're seeing you and them, and that's what's making that hard for you? No, it's like, it's really what we were saying, like more the theme, the spirit, and the compassion. Like, I'm there, and then I go, you know, just managing that, but it's expressed, so they
eighth graders are a different species altogether in the first place.
So, I'm a lawyer, I was just for a number of years. And I hear from the talk a lot of this stuff, a lot of stuff. One of the grounding lessons I got from that is that everybody wants to be seen. Right? You think of adults, right? You have a dispute and you can't resolve it, you go to court, right? It's very litigious society as it is. And so go to court, we expect this one person in authority, as a teacher or a healer, right? To tell us, give us their determination, their decision. And whether you fall on the side of the winner or the loser, everybody just wants to be heard and have their day in court. Especially that's just you wanting to be seen. And when you don't feel like you were properly or equally seen, that's when people, that's when people usually come out themselves, right? Oh, I was treated, or this was fair, this was just. But essentially what they're saying is, that's what it is. Yeah. That's what. I'm interested in this factor, yeah.
And I think that's what you might have to tell the students, like, how you got mine. And sometimes, like, you get the connection and you're like, oh, and all you have to do is look at them and let them say what they have to say. And I remember I told this one kid, he thought it was so strange, he was like, he went to the principal, but he thought about it, he was in ninth grade, he thought about it, he was like, Mr. Bates, I'm so sorry. He was like, because I told him, I said, you know what, I love you, and I see you. I see you. And he never heard I love you. He never heard anybody tell him he saw he got seen. His father was never around. His mother was unfortunately alcoholic. And it was just, and this kid was living in the house with a bunch of nannies. And they loved him, but he didn't know how to get that until someone that actually speaks English and is around him all the time was like, you know, hey, I love you, dude. I see you. And you don't have to go, oh my God, I see you. You gotta get, like you said, especially with boys, it's so different. And depending on their culture and how they're brought up, some are gonna receive it and some are gonna receive it at that moment. But I guarantee you, they will go home, they will think about it, and they will see you on the street 3 years later and was like, this is me, I see you, I love you. And then you're like, wow, what you did, you really connected with that person and you told them in a way that you could never imagine. Whatever comes to your heart, that's what you say, I see you. That's it. Those 3 words are a lot. They mean a lot.
And I love you. Yeah. All right, let's all take a big deep breath in. Breathe out. You feel it in the heart.
Who was it that suggested reading The Journey of the Soul? That is like the most beautiful book I've ever. I've started. I can't put it down, but that's exactly what all this is about here. Why we're here in this earth is learning.
It's like what Jessica said, the colors change. Because as you evolve, your colors change, and that's what we're here for. We're here in this human form to go to the next level, you know. Think of it like Donkey Kong. That's how
It's so weird because I had the same vision for someone I was doing a reading for. And why am I seeing Donkey Kong?
Oh.
There are all these barrels coming at her, and I'm like, just go over the barrels. It was like this whole
What are you getting at? That's a little humor there.
What is Donkey Kong?
A video game. It's a video game.
I'm a long time.
I'm all excited. Yeah, and you know what's weird? Thank you. So Bunny gave me that book, and I forgot that you had mentioned, but you hadn't even mentioned it that time. And on the 4th, she gave me that book, so I have the book at home. I have to read it.
So if anyone wants to read it, you can. They also have it on audio. I think one of my friends saw it for free on audio somewhere. I don't know where. Because where did you? Yeah. The audio. I said it was audio, but I don't remember where the audio is. I have to ask.
Well, I mean, if it's on Amazon, you can do a trial, like a 7-day trial of the Audible.
Yeah, you'll get through that book in like 2 hours.
Yeah. So you can hear it.
But is it now, and I have 3 copies. Because I just kept going over it, annotating it, and for some reason, I just can't go away with those copies because I'm not ready. I think I'm
But it
about to
shows
get
your
one.
growth.
But it shows, because I go back and like I don't throw away my journaling, my books and stuff, like I don't throw them out. 'Cause I go back and I'm like, oh, okay. And I see where I grow. And some years you're gonna just like, if you read the book, you'll understand. You're gonna go from white to yellow, which is normally never happens. Never happens. That's how it's explained in the book. But there's different shades. So somebody can be a bright white and then they're dimmer. Don't think that the bright white is better than the dimmer, because it's not. The dimmer is better because now your color is changing. Your soul is changing.
You realize that he's written some other books?
Yeah, so
Newton.
read Journey of Soul first, because that's the first one that's the base, the foundation of the house.
I've read it.
And and then the second one is the Destiny of Souls, which that blew me away. That's the one that I was like, oh my goodness. I gotta go back and get that book. Okay. Yeah, they're great books. I mean, helped me tremendously. And that's where it says here, when you said lesson 29 to 30, the third eye exercise. I think that was my third eye exercise, with Journey of Soul. And then how God is in everything, that was Destiny of Souls for me.
And that's what we're going to talk about next. For the sake of time, we probably should. It's already 11:15. You guys believe it? So the third eye exercises. There's a YouTube video that I did for the third eye. I don't know if you guys have watched it, but it really helps to open up the third eye. I did YouTube videos like a couple years back. That's one of them. Look for third eye opening. And it talks about, rubbing your hands together, putting your hands over your eyes. The crystal amethyst is really good for opening up the third eye. They say too that the higher pH water that you drink is really good for opening up. A lot of times there's fluoride that gets fossilized in the pineal gland, and it kind of hardens there, which keeps you from seeing through the third eye. Drinking higher pH water, or even water with lemon, and some of you do the apple cider vinegar stuff. That's really helpful for that. So
could you link to your video on the Facebook?
Yeah, let me write myself a note. I can. I need to go back and start doing more videos. Okay, so.
What about fluoride? Fluoride.
Yes, it's yes. Yeah. Yeah. Because you swallow it whether you like it or not, and it's crystal. It like fossilizes in the back of your, not like intensely, but yeah. Fluoride, yeah. In the pineal, which is back here. Isn't that weird? Yeah, it's in our water and everything. Yeah. Lisa's gonna be at the dentist next time going, you're closing out my third eye. Don't take the fluoride too.
I found a holistic dentist in Charlotte. I'm gonna go to in a couple of weeks.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Let us know. Post it on. Okay. What's that? Post it.
A holistic dentist.
Oh,
She
yeah.
doesn't use fluoride and a lot of other things that are more.
Yeah.
So let me, not me. Let's move on to the next one, lessons 29 and 30. How is God in everything? Yeah.
I think I got this lesson, which, it's kind of, it came from the Bible, and I don't know, I think God was talking about this, and God was saying, I am that. And for some reason, what I'm talking about, for some reason, it resonated with me. Oh my gosh, that is God saying, I'm that. And I got it, I understood. I never understood what that meant until, it was my dad. I got it.
Good.
Yeah, like everything.
Yeah.
It's funny that you say that, because I had that same thing, and so I took it from lesson 29 where it says, God is this coat hanger, and I thought it's been holding me
you up. God is this magazine. I thought of him not I say him, but I meant, God. God as this magazine, as an education you. God is as this finger that sometimes will tell you no or yes. God is as this lamp that can turn your third eye on. God is as your body that can heal your soul. God is as this door that can make you walk through. And God is as this wastebasket that makes sure that you are not trash. So, those are the things that like change for me. I didn't actually talk to you.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah.
You'll be sleeping.
That's it's just, I wake up that way
Oh,
and
think about it.
yeah. So that's what that.
Can you record yourself at 2 o'clock in the morning?
I'll try. That'd be cool.
So does anyone else get any insight on this one specifically? Okay, from everything. I know, from the Bible. No, I love it.
Yeah, I never understood that.
Yeah. I remember when Mary was 6 and we made crepes together a lot. I said, what is God? And she was from a tiny age, she was new. She said exactly this. God is in everything. God's in birds, trees, and you, Mama. And I was like, I know. But she just, like, kids get it. They understand that, I mean, they have to go through the whole 2 and 3-year-old. They understand from a very young age that there are aspects of God in everything that surrounds us, and nothing's really ours. Nothing's ours. Like, when we leave here, Bunny didn't take her books with her.
And all the other stuff.
She was a bit of a, sorry, Bunny, but a hoarder.
Yeah.
Yeah. I heard one time, and I've always come back to this, that if you think of the ocean, God is the ocean. When you take a cup, you put a little bit of water in a cup from the ocean, but that's still the ocean. It's just in a different form, God in a different form.
I get that for the birds and trees and the other critters, but where do you, I do not know, get it here, but I don't get it here yet about how can God be involved in the chaos, cruelty, and there's a messiness of the country.
But do you think God created that?
No.
So who or what created that?
There isn't God in the world.
He's watching. Yeah.
I think that, in a way, for me to be able to understand this, Dad had the same question. And in order for us to move closer to the light, we have to feel the pain. And I believe that that is just one way of my, God bringing us closer to Him. And that it's like to shed light, we're in the darkness, to shed light by moving closer.
It's interesting to me, taking a journey of souls. One of the myriad of things it says is that we choose our path in order to enlighten our souls to grow, to eventually be the next Mahatma Gandhi, whatever. And that makes me, somehow or other, that helps me. I don't know why anybody would choose those horrible things to happen to people. I don't know if that is part of it.
It's a balance. Because if we only know good, then how do we understand what's on the Bible?
But I'm not choosing any of that other really rough stuff. I don't want to be rough in this journey. I want to be a princess.
Well, even that has a bad side.
Yeah,
I know.
Right,
Not not Disney.
What is that Disney show about the princess laying on all the mattresses and there's a tea?
Oh, yeah, the Princess and the Tea.
There's always problems somewhere.
Well, and here's the thing too, like a lot of, when, I'm gonna do a little bit of politics, and I don't usually talk about this, but when Trump came into office, the don't know what you said. Well, and again, this isn't about judgment. He had to, and this is what I understood her, he had to come in so that we could see all of the mess that was underneath the surface that no one was talking about.
They are now tweeting.
Exactly.
And that's the only way we can clear it. And I use it as an analogy of this. You gotta pop it in order to clean it out.
Yeah.
All this toxin, just crap is under the surface and it's gotta come up and out. And so he is the catalyst for that. God bless him. You know, I wouldn't want that job. He's perfect in a lot of ways. So,
Dr. Pimple Popper.
we're all running around with Neosporin trying to fix everything. You know, and it's gonna take some years for all of this, you know, prejudice and then these things that are coming out and people just slamming each other for it to simmer down. And then we'll be like,
did anyone else feel on, when was it, Wednesday is when I guess the final decision came through whether he, was he acquitted or not. I literally felt, all I could see was that ride at Great Adventure, the pirate ride.
oh my
you know,
God, that makes me so sick.
And then I just felt the whole energy around me shift to a positive direction.
Yeah.
After that happened. I don't know, I saw it come up on my phone, I was like, oh, yeah, I thought, oh, whatever. And then it was like just a literal feeling of that energy going in a totally different direction.
Yeah.
I think we can only hope, right?
Just early, yes, you can feel it.
And to your point, God's intercession is unique in and of itself, right? So, you know, when I was shared a documentary here not long ago, it's called A Sheep Among Wolves. And it's an interesting documentary that's based on what's going on very specifically in Iran, right? You know about the world and all what's going on, the madness, and, you know, where does God fit into all this? Well, the number one fastest growing church that's primarily led by women, right, has no actual churches per se, and no money, is taking place in the middle of Iran. And it is an amazing story. And that just, it's like, wow, that's true intercession of God and his being and how he says, all right, here's a world that is in completely total turmoil, yet I'm going to place this on people's hearts and I'm going to change it. So anyway.
Thank you.
Yeah, well, and so that's, yeah, it's one of the most amazing things you can think about, right? And they're most oppressed, one of the most oppressed areas, right? So.
There was a line from that, and we were watching it together, that, and Chad maybe he reminded us, because I don't sit still during movies and stuff, I just walk around and go places, but it is so annoying. But God is in me, Mom. But one of the women, this guy was talking about one of the women who, they would, you know, they get raped. And she said, and killed. If this is what it takes for me to share that Christ consciousness, or that the gift, she's talking about Jesus Christ specifically, then I will readily give my body for that reason. Like, how powerful is that? And I was like, I mean, it chokes me up. So unbelievable. I mean, we're so blessed here too. I mean, not to compare, but truly.
Yeah, one of the challenges they were talking about is that, you know, they were found out, right? You know, the government has to know certain bits and pieces of what's true going on, right? But they were found out, you know, what kind of persecution would they come, right? And especially it being women in the Middle East, wow, that's almost like a death in and of itself, right? So they're going out to try to spread the gospel of the word, right? Essentially kind of what we're all studying here, right? It's in a different format. And so what kind of cojones does that take, right? What kind of intestinal fortitude does that really drive somebody? And sorry, we sit comfortably in our first world country, right? And we're not conflicted at all. So a lot of it, that's just the anti-form, right? That's stereotypical. But yeah, so it's interesting. You know, we've become comfortably numb.
Yeah.
And going back to your statement, this is a good book. You probably sit through it, but it's like a pamphlet. It's not even a book. It's called Why God Commits Evil and How to Rise Above It. And it's from the Self-Realization Fellowship. His name is Yogi Yogananda. I'll post it in
Oh
the.
my gosh,
Yogananda.
yeah, we read his book.
Yeah,
You brought yoga
the
here.
autobiography. And yeah, so I'll post that. I put a note that I'll post it in the what do you call it? That's a phenomenal book because reading that and then listening to Mother Teresa and her writing books, her interviews. I don't know if she's ever written a book. That's so strange because she's one of my favorite people in history. But if you listen to what they said and how their faith was tested, you'll get that connection.
I still need that because I go from over here to way over here, as Jay did, and I can't even come up with the word.
But I'll post the book in there because I know we don't want to be short on time. That's what I was looking for.
Why that would be my question. I appreciate your question. You know, I've always wondered why, but I think that's kind of a question that we often ask with the assumption too. Under the different assumption that we think that because of our understanding of God, only good things come from the God as we understand. And where does that really come from? Why do we have this idea that God equals only good things and beautiful things and peaceful things and love is only defined through things that make us feel good? No. What is that?
Yeah, because that's what if you think about all the people in history just who have done great things in our world. Going back to Mother Teresa, Malcolm X, even though people may not look at what they've done in their lifetime, Gandhi, he was oppressed. He was a lawyer, and he wasn't even allowed to sit on the train. He had to go to the service because of the color of his skin. But when he went through that trial was, quote unquote, people would say it's a bad thing, actually propelled him to be who we know him as today.
I feel like for me, the most challenging years that I've had have made me grow the most.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I take things to the next level. Go work.
All things that you have spiritual, trial, and overcoming, right?
Yeah.
There's a Facebook story that's gone around. You guys have probably seen it at one time or another, but it's about a little boy who is hiding behind a couch because his parents are fighting and his dad killed his mom. The social worker comes in and takes him to his new home, and he hid behind the couch. And his new foster mom takes him to church, and he looks up and he sees a picture of Jesus up on the wall, and he goes, "I know him. He was with me behind the couch." And my daddy said that. So she's there. And that's very, the story's actually very long, but I just want to.
That was a better version.
Yeah.
But God's with us wherever we're at and whatever's going on.
There's a reason for it. The lessons that we learn is who we can help others.
Right, I think a lot of it's on how you choose to perceive the lesson. Or what, specifically for lesson. Because it's easy to be negative. It takes a whole lot more energy, in my opinion, to see things, from a negative one and a positive one. You might not be able to see it right away. I mean, it could, like with me this week, it could be years, decades later that you see.
We could either choose to be victims to the situation, or we could just learn from that.
Yeah.
Yeah, my stepfather locked me in a closet, and that was my punishment because I wouldn't submit. I wasn't that kid. I just never was. And it never bothered me because I always had the light on the bottom of the crack of the door. So some kids would cry, and I wouldn't cry. I just looked, and I'd be like, "Oh, the light's there. That's so cool." And I would play with my fingers in the little shadows and stuff like that. So being locked in the closet wasn't a problem for me. Even though
you read, told us that, maybe something about that. I mean, you think like you read.
Yeah.
Sometimes
I would read. You just gotta make it the best for what you can make it for. You can't allow it to break you. You gotta grow from that. So anytime things happen, sometimes I look at it and it's like, wow, and I always wondered where my real father was. And then when I met my biological dad, I was like, whoa, he's a lawyer, and he went through this, and he had his own trials and tribulations. And he wound up having a car accident. That's why he couldn't be there. He lost his legs. He was in a coma for many years. And so all of that kind kind of made me strong. So now my biological dad and I, we have a very strong bond. Because a lot of the things that he saw while he was in a coma is me. So I think that he was giving me faith. So I still don't really talk about this a lot, and I've always go back and forth, and I wrote a lot of stuff down, and maybe I'm supposed to write a book about that journey in that closet. But, oh, wow. What? Journey in the closet? Oh, no, that sounds like I'm gay. That's it's cool, like, it's okay. And I didn't see that as evil. I didn't perceive that as evil. I just saw that as, like, I'm here for a reason. I didn't understand it because I was so young. You're 8, 9 years old, and here's this guy locking you in the closet and just being mean to you. It didn't matter to me because all around me was just poverty. So in my head, I'm like, I know I won't be here because this is the lowest it can get. That's, and I mean, as a kid to think that, that's a lot.
Even know that. Yeah, that's huge.
Well, you walk back and forth to school, and you see drug addicts and hookers and prostitutes. You know that's not where you want to be. So what can you do to be above that? I scrub toilets. I've cleaned houses with people who didn't even while you're cleaning the house, they're still messing it up. You can't be so evil, and you can't allow it to gate. You gotta get it to a point where it makes you fall.
It's a little above our circumstance.
Yeah.
I get all that. I think that makes a good point. I need to re-examine about it.
Sorry.
What we humans create, the growth and injustice. But I think I need to spend some time thinking about that contract, that meditating.
And once you're on the Facebook, she's gonna post it.
Cool.
The book. I want to read a book.
Yeah, I want to read that. Thanks.
So the next lesson 31. I mean, we basically already talked about this. I'm not the victim of the world I see. I love this lesson and I hate it personally because every time I read it, I get nailed the whole day, like everything that could possibly happen to me. Does anyone want to share on this? That hasn't shared. Everyone share? Kathy, you want to say anything? No? You're last.
I did a question though. Right here, I have my name on my board.
Yeah. I'm not going to read you the whole thing, but literally as a joke to myself and a reminder, I wrote down every single thing that happened to me that morning. I think I talked to Amy about it. Like literally I woke up and everything that could go wrong did. And so I went out the door. I even fell down my front porch steps. Like that's how, and it's like, and I had to laugh. And that's the thing, like laughing about this as opposed to getting angry, which I'm still working on. Sometimes I get, just, why is this happening? But laughing about it helps me to see and not take it so seriously. When you can have laughter when you feel like you're being attacked, it's huge. And at least go back on it. My sister's really good at that. So, yeah. Anyone else feel like a victim sometimes?
Oh.
Everyone
I
laughs.
remind it was awful, I think.
Yeah.
Because I think I'm like, oh, I'm doing so well with this, I'm doing so well with everything, but I'm like, when I was really present to all my thoughts, I'm like, I didn't even know that I thought that way.
Yeah.
Like every step, every pan I went through, I mean, it was rough.
Like burning yourself and yeah. So lesson 32, we can go around. I have invented the world that I see. What's a way that you can reword that? And I'm asking this too because as you go through the lessons, you don't have to do them verbatim, right?
I said, like, I choose how I want to see the world. Anyone else? How else would you say it?
I chose my father's word. I know, I like the fact I invented the situation as a kid, and then I can think of an actual one. That I'm choosing. It's choosing to look at it.
Yeah. And I can see peace instead of that. I love that.
And when my personal mantra is you have to create the life you want to have. I'm really going to create the life you want to have. Manifest the great stuff, manifest not the great stuff. There's a lot to be said about we attract what we believe we deserve, right? And it's not what we like, we constantly think we deserve, but I think we spiritually think that we deserve. And so we're working on that. It's really important for me. Thinking what I deserve, what I really want in my life, and bringing that to it.
Yeah. Writing it down helps too. Manifesting things that you want to see transpire.
I didn't believe in the first 1 week, then I did. It worked.
It does work.
Yeah.
Change your thoughts, change your world.
Is that from The Secret? Yeah, another book I have not read.
Law of attraction.
Yep. Yeah, that's,
Or you could kill your mind, so we could.
yeah. So lessons 33 and 34. And Allison, you can chime in too. She's not muted, is she?
No.
Hi. If you want to say anything, sweet boys.
I was just thinking of the last one that you were talking about, and what I usually like my thoughts create my experience. I feel like anything that we think about or even subconsciously think about creates our daily, even if it's not the next day, it could be like somewhere in our immediate, like, somewhere along the line, we create everything that we experience.
Yeah.
Which,
And that's powerful.
yeah. And you'll go through things and you're like, well, how does this happen? And you have to really be at a place where you can sit and analyze it to a point where you're like, okay, well, I created this in some form.
Yeah.
It can be very hard and it can be scary, but it helps to be able to figure out where you are and what your mental space is. So yeah, sorry. I was just thinking about that. And
What about illness? What about diabetes? Do we create?
Well, if you go back to the Louise Hay theory, we do. Have you ever seen that book, Heal Your Life, and how they go through different types of things and that was one of my big things this week too. And I told you now I see it for me. But yeah, I mean, we definitely create it all for ourselves.
I actually struggled with these last two lessons. And again, like logically I get it, but I have a situation where it's not really you, but if it's somebody else in your environment, and trying to understand, I'm struggling with this, you create your world, you create your reality, but then you can't really change other people. I would desperately like to change somebody in your life.
But you can change them. You see them.
I can't, and it's very intense right now. And it's I struggle with it. I really do, and again, I get it logically, and I think in times when there's more people in my life, it's really weird to me. It's just very difficult for me to be like, you know, this is just very difficult. Being tested is an understatement.
Yeah.
I was not able to, I was quiet this week, but this was just very difficult for me to do. Again, like I think if it were me, my own thoughts, my own struggles, like I can do that. But when there are people around you in your life, or you know, that is impacting your life, it's real.
Mhm.
Now that's just been difficult. So I don't know if other people have gone through that, or they what helped them.
And if you're somebody who likes, if you're a thinker, you know, that's really hard, because
Yeah.
that's your tendency, is to want to make it better for them.
Yeah.
That's kind of a, yeah, mine too.
Right.
I was fixing my mom last night.
Yeah, and just, but I think it's really normal, and, you know, I think I'm just I had a good week.
Yeah.
This week with revelations that give me so much hope, but I know, I mean, it ain't gonna be a,
Right.
you know, champagne and roses from here on out. I wish it were, but.
Me too, maybe next time.
Yeah, you know, I think it's there. But lean on people like that. Don't beat yourself up. Honestly, you know, let us lift you up when you can't lift yourself.
That's a big one. For healers too, we do not like.
Right.
Right.
I can heal everyone else, I should be able to heal myself.
Right.
Well, and the next thing that we're doing, the tornado visual tool, is perfect for this. So I want you to take a minute and close your eyes. Your feet can be flat on the ground only because you're going to be in a tornado. But I want you to consider a situation in your life that has been or is or tornado of sorts, where the thoughts keep spinning, things aren't changing, it feels like you're out of control in the situation, and it's super emotional for you. And just see above your head all of the thoughts spinning like a tornado above your crown. And then just kind of monitor your body. So the tornado's up there, thoughts are spinning. Where you feel it, which energy field in your body. For me, it's in like the solar plexus, my stomach area, and the heart. I feel this like, gut-wrenching sort of sensation. And I want you to take that tornado and you're going to talk to it. You're going to say to it, I am bringing you peace and light. I am bringing you peace and light. And through God's grace, all of the outcomes that I want will come to fruition. And through God's grace, all of the outcomes that I want will come to fruition. Watch the tornadoes kind of settle down, and feel it melting like sparkles of light all the way down into those energy in your body where you've been feeling that tension. And see yourself literally, like in your mind's eye, holding your hands up, white flag, giving this to God for the best outcome for everybody, not just you, for all. And then you may even feel some tingling in your crown, settle. Feel that tranquility. And just say thank you. Because it's already transpired. Take a deep breath in. Isn't that nice? Now we're all going to take a nap. So that's, no, this did not happen in Matthew. So
I kind of saw mine in reverse, where all the stuff was coming from the bottom and then out.
shooting out, yeah. Just make sure it shoots out into the ether or else into the earth.
Yes.
I like that. Whatever works for you. So the zipping tool. Let me see. We're on lesson 35. And this goes back to what Maggie was talking about, you know, beating yourself up and the thoughts that you say to yourself. This is about my mind is part of God's. I am very holy. You guys all see the halos around your head? We've all got them. It's like an insult to God not to think, oh, I mean, we're a part of him, it, she, the creation, right? So one of the tools that I learned early on when we talked about when we first came in here was called zipping. And what I do is I will think about some of the things that I say to myself that are so harsh, like I'm fat, I'm ugly, I'm boring, I'm like whatever, you know, and it's horrible. I don't really think I'm fat, but you know. And then I'll go through each of them and I'll think, which of these do I have the most emotional or physical attachment to? And I'll take the top two and reverse them. So when I first started doing this work, I felt really unworthy. And I felt really unloved because I had friends that weren't responding to me the way I needed them to. There were all these things that were happening at that time. And I wrote down all this list of things. And those were the top two. And so what I did, and you're going to, for the sake of time, again, do this on your own. But once you have figured out the top two things that you most likely say to yourself that are the most painful, I guess, and you're like, why am I doing this? Flip them. And then I'm going to show you what zipping actually is. Some of you already know it. So take your hands like Karate Kid, rub them together. Feel the energy in your hands, the heat. And when they get hot enough and you start to feel them, you know, get kind of sweaty, pull them apart and you'll feel the tingling in your hands, and then bring your hands together. And you begin to feel like the energy field, like a ball. When you're doing Reiki, this is a huge thing. Because that power of the 11th chakra, you just naturally channel and hold in your space. And once you feel the magnetic, the electricity running between your hands, the communication that they have with each other. The more you become aware of it, you begin to, your hands will start to ache or feel fiery. Before the tornado come, I arcane my hands for doing that. And migraine. And so what you're going to do, we're going to go ahead and use my words, because this is a big one, I think, just for everybody, is say, I am worthy and I am loved. And we're going to take the hand that we write with, so our dominant hand, starting at the root chakra, moving up our chakras to our throat or our mouth chakra and out. Okay, that's the motion. Zipping this in. I am worthy and I am loved. Out. I am worthy and I am loved. And really start to believe that within yourself. And you can even think of the ways that people value who you are, what you bring to them. You know, you can go through the whole list and then reversing these thoughts that you tell yourself in due time. I think it's a healthy process of clearing.
What did you mean that the top two things I say to myself and then reverse it?
I would say, like, I am unworthy. I don't have value.
Why do you flip them?
Make them positive.
I am worthy. I do have value.
Yeah. I am very valuable. And then think about the ways. Yeah, if any of you have trouble with that, just call me. I will tell you how valuable you are. And everybody in the group can probably do the same. Because you're all freaking amazing. Including you, Allison. I can't see you, but.
Thank you. So are you.
I struggle with the I'm very holy, and then the next lesson, my holiness is what is my holiness? Like what is that? My whole, when they said something about you're being whole, is it me being whole? Is that my holiness? Am I taking it too literally? My sacredness?
Yes, your connection
There's a theory that we are all gods, right? And that's tricky for some of us, especially when we have like a stronger foundation. But that aspect of us, like we tend to, and I wrote this down too, like when I think about my holiness, all of a sudden this guilt comes in. I start going into the past and like, oh my God, but I did this, and I did this in San Sebastian, and I did, you know, like all these different things. That's because we're bad. And they're up there going, it's done. It's part of your life journey. It's your experience. You're still always holy. In the grand scheme, bigger picture of things, we are just light. We come that way, we leave that way. And all this other stuff floating around us, the tornado, it's just distraction. But we are holy in everything we do. We just beat ourselves up. We really do. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And there's peace in that.
I was
You are very holy.
Yeah.
Look at her eyes. Chad, we're always nuns with all these people. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
That's a great. We were all flying. We're flying. Chad's a warrior.
Yeah.
Every lifetime. So I can see from the soul space people's job. He comes in like he's a klutzy warrior, but he's a warrior. I've seen him as a samurai. I've seen him as like a knight. He's been dubbed a knight. He came in, he was in the army, and this. I mean, he's always fighting to protect people. He works with the Archangel Michael. That's his primary name.
Really sweet to his mother-in-law. So,
He's the best hugger in the world.
Yeah.
No joke. Like if you need a hug, that man will like crack your back. He hugs you so hard.
you know,
It doesn't
yeah,
sound like fun.
Oh, I love it. Like open me right up.
when we went to the symphony once, it was when my husband and I were still together, and so it was Bruce, me, Jess, and Chad. And I sat, I don't know, I ended up sitting next to Chad, and I think my husband was on the other side, and Chad was the one with his arm around me and held me. I've never forgotten that.
Aww.
Yeah.
So the last two, or I guess 3 questions. You cannot be without sin a little. Isn't that interesting? Cannot be without sin a little. It comes from, hold on, I underlined it. Or maybe not. It's somewhere in here.
If your mind is part of God, you must be sinless, or a part of his mind will be sinless.
Yeah, I highlighted it. And just so in lesson 36, it's line 5, actually. And so remember that. And think, I don't even like the word sin because it has such a negative, like, because with that, it just invokes this sense of lack of forgiveness, period, either for the self or for someone else. And it's all about judgment. And that's not, how can you be happy when you're constantly feeling like you're under a magnifying glass throughout your life? You can't.
Shame.
It is shame. Shame is huge, right? And we just lift it off ourselves like a blanket. So yeah, we were talking about running around naked. Maybe we should just go do that.
Oh, dear.
Like, how much fun would that be?
The visuals, yeah, right there.
Yeah. Running around naked.
No clothes. This sounds amazing. Like a fire. Like, you have to show them your shirt before we leave. So
for the last one, I guess this will be like your quote unquote homework in addition to obviously doing lessons, but how do you see yourself as holy? And think of it in terms of your gifts and your light and the ones that you surround and bring love to. And like, you know, make a list of this. It doesn't mean, holy does not mean perfect. Holy means just in love with this world.
When they mean
Coming
holy.
Yes, W-H-O-L-E.
Yeah.
Yeah. Remind yourself. Yeah. Sending higher heart love to the world. You know, we have 7 in-body chakras. The one that's right about here in the thymus is the higher heart. It's like a rose quartz pink color. It is about unity. It's about connection to all things. When you have a moment from the larger picture perspective, look at this planet, look at this universe, and just feel the love coming through you. Send it outward whenever you can. Radiating light. If you get in a bad situation that pisses you off and you have human feelings and emotions, clear it. Forgive yourself. Send yourself love and light. With that, I love all of you.
We love you.
I love you.
Have you worked with each one of us?
In different ways. In
That's
different
really
ways.
neat. It must be like seeing your children grow up,
Which,
right?
maybe because I've already seen you grown up to begin with.
Well, right, but I mean, isn't it kind of cool to watch our
Oh, nothing makes me happier.
individual growth happen?
You saw me cry when you said you had a week of bliss, and I'm like, no. Yeah.
But it
Nothing
was
can
hard
make
to live, but it was great.
When the light bulb goes off, there is nothing more exciting for a teacher. Am I right? Those of us who have been teachers, when the light bulb goes off, there's nothing more beautiful.
Right?
That's why I do what I do.
And you do it well, in case anybody hadn't told you that.
Bye, Allison. We love you.
Love you guys too.
Bye, Allison. Everyone send her love, light to her back and her neck. Everyone say goodbye to Bunny, who was here this whole time. She's laughing. Everyone send love and light to Karen with the situation that she's having. And sending light to the people that surround her, that they may begin to see what they need to see in order to grow on their journey. Anyone else want to share anything? Okay. All right. So I'm not going to be here next time. Yeah. So we're meeting here. And where am I going to come? I'm going to be in New Orleans. I'm going to be simple. I want to party.
How many beads do you come have one?
I'm going to be dressed in beads. Just beads. You're like, don't come to the next one. Right? Yeah, I love you guys. Bye, Allison.
Bye-bye.
I'll see you tomorrow, girl.
Alrighty.
She's in marching band. If anyone needs a new mattress, Myers Park, selling mattresses.
Oh, I need one.